trying to get rid of this belly fat that has been, man, it's been a struggle. Dropped, oh gosh, like 5 pounds pretty quick. So I've watched it. Welcome to Salt and Steel. And today I just wanted to get on here and give you kind of a little bit of an update on this perimenopause and midlife and trying to get rid of this belly fat that has been, man, it's been a struggle. So you'll see in my previous video, I talked about how I switched from OMAD fasting, and I did a lot of fasting for a lot of years and how that wasn't working for me. And now how I'm trying to use high protein tactics to get my digestion under control, to get my perimenopausal symptoms under control, my brain fog, my energy, my skin, irregularity of the menstrual cycle, those types of things, and just manage the changes that are going on in my body. So I have been doing the high protein now. I need to track that better. It's been at least 2 to 3. It's been at least 2 weeks, but I think it's fallen somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks. And immediately when I switched over, and I didn't even take like a little bit of a break, I went straight from, did my OMAD big meal the day before, which is in the evening, my normal, to we're eating 20 grams of protein and 4 eggs first thing in the morning. And when I say first thing in the morning for me is going to be closer to 8, between 8 and 9 o'clock. I kind of get my coffee going, and then I kind of get on with my day to start. And then I come back and microwave my eggs because it's the easiest way for me to do that at work. So that's what I've been doing. I will say in my experience right now is I had immediate success, dropped, oh gosh, like 5 pounds pretty quick, almost like in a week or so. There, you know, take or leave it, you know, that way maybe a little bit more. And I was like, wow. But I have to probably wonder if that was just some water weight. So what happened after that was I kept on it, and I've been staying on it, but I saw the weight start to creep back up. So I was like, okay, maybe my body, because my body's pretty smart. Is your body pretty smart? Like, you can do a change and your body's like, can adapt like that after you do it. And it's like, oh, wait a second. Oh, I know what to do now. I know how to make her body struggle again and have the struggle. So I've watched it creep back up, and I've watched it creep back down, and I've watched it creep back up. So far, because this is a journey, this is a midlife journey. This is basically, I guess, vlogging, for lack of a better term. This isn't sitting around a table with nutrition experts and talking about what they do and not really getting the full scope of what's actually working. And I'm not trying to be offensive, because they're trying to get you into a coaching program. So I understand for a lot of these experts, you know, this is their business, this is their lifestyle, and this is, you know, their livelihood. This is not my business at this time in my life. I have a job that I do, and I have this outlet that I'm using as YouTube to just kind of go through this journey, because Mr. Don doesn't want to hear about it every day. And so, and I've got friends that are going through it, and the last thing we want to do is like rehash the pain of it every day. So, you know, this is just kind of my outlet. I like being able to share this. I like to hear your comments and kind of the experiences you are going through. So, at the time of this video, which is August the 6th, I believe, I am continuing on with my 4 eggs a day. I follow it up with a tuna pack. I still haven't had time to research if those are necessarily the best thing for my body, but I'm sure they're better than slamming a bag of Garditos or Chex Mix or some processed granola bar of sorts and whatnot. So I'm doing that. I do sardines intermittently when I get okay, I use it as a supplement. Like, I get in my head, I'm like, okay, psychologically, I'm not a sardine fan, but at the end of the day, food is medicine to me. I'm going to use it as a supplement, and I'll incorporate it in. I don't even think I think I did it once this week. Today's a Friday. I think I might have done it like around Monday. So I did that. But if I don't do that, then I'm grabbing a couple beef sticks. I'm then following up, and I'm catching myself. But I'm using the Kaba milk fat yogurt, in the afternoon. This would be like 3-ish in the afternoon. I might be overdoing it on that a little bit, so I've been going back through my labels and I'm trying to break it down. Now, I'm not big on counting calories. I've never been big on counting protein. I do make mindful observations of carbohydrates, but I don't track them per se. Not like, I don't have to, who has time for that? Who has time for that? I mean, I guess if you're like super like bioscience and want to dial it in, totally no problem. But, you know, for me, I am a big picture kind of person. The details when I dial them in are things like this. Okay, this was working. Now we're going back up. Why is it not working? And then, you know, what little tweaks can I do? So after I have the yogurt, which has been a thing, I've decided to dial that serving size or be more cognizant of it. I have my normal dinner that I normally kind of would have on OMAD. I just don't eat as much of it. So for me, this week it looked like tonight's going to be curry chicken. But last night, and I've been cutting on a hanger steak, a nice steak that I get from a local farm here where they do their own grass-fed beef processing and stuff. So we've been cutting out that. I had some mushrooms with a little bit of cheese on it. And then I do my poppers, and I still need to make a video on my poppers that I think you would enjoy. So I know that the carbs that I'm getting are coming from vegetables, and that's fine. That's fine. I had a meeting the other day, so I had to pack my lunch. And yes, I'm still annoyed that I have to break my day into like, oh wait, give me 5 minutes. Like I hollered at my coworker, I'm like, give me a minute, I'll be in. I have to eat my eggs. They're just looking at me because they know that I don't. They know that I fast and do all these things. But I said, I'll explain later. So what I'm learning now, and I get a little bit sidetracked, and I get dialed in and focused, and I get kind of hell bent on trying to figure out, okay, why is the weight creeping up? What I can tell you at this point was when OMAD fasting quit working for me and the weight kept going up, and I got onto pretty much 10, 11 pounds past my ideal body weight that I like to fluctuate in. When I got past that threshold and I needed to kind of stop the bleeding per se, I switched over to this protein. The protein within 2 weeks, yes, dropped that first 5 pounds, not a problem. But once my body regulated and figured out, whoa, okay, change. Let's make the adjustment. Okay, now we're going to try to keep holding on. The best thing I can tell you, the explanation I can say is now, after my body has started to creep back up, I basically have, I've gone down, I'm going up, but it's found a threshold. But that threshold now is lower than where I was kept going up and up and up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to stop something because the number is going up and up and up, and I feel horrible, and it's not getting any better. Now I'm doing this. Now today, I've noticed that it is slowly going back down, and I'm probably going to have to dial in some more protein. I just want to be a little bit strategic with it because I don't want my body to get used to having just enormous amounts of a nutrient that it's not had. So I essentially went from, now that I look back, probably 40 to 50 grams of protein in a day, typically on an OMAD style day, which is just I eat one gigantic meal and that's all I do in a day, because that's OMAD fasting, if you're not familiar with what OMAD, O-M-A-D is, to, okay, now I'm getting bigger chunks in a day. So I've been on a quest search to figure out why the weight keeps creeping up like this, even this. I finally got a little nugget of information yesterday watching a couple of nutrition experts talk, a little round panel, and finally someone mentioned it, and I think they passively mentioned it, but it caught my ear, was, you know, when you start this high protein eating, your body will go through a regulation period. So you're going to see the weight kind of go up and creep up until your body figures out, okay, and then it starts to go back down. So maybe I have been experiencing that adaptation of my body to go, okay, we're adapting, we're still adapting. And I heard the could take, or not could take, I think she said within, as you start high protein, and I mean, and I'm not verbatim quoting, just your first 2 to 3 months. Okay, well I'm going to stay on the process. I'm going to stick to it. I have gained and fluctuated, but like I said this morning, I'm down a little bit. I mean, a little bit. I'm talking like ounces. I'm like, okay, maybe my body is going to start to regulate and we're going to start to go down. The one thing I can tell you is I may be gaining weight, but I think some of it's actually muscle, just because I have not changed my workouts at this point. I have not stopped the CrossFit because I wanted to start here first, and I'm not really into body sculpting. I'm sorry if that offends somebody, but eventually maybe I'd have to go to something like that. But at this point, I only like to change 1 to 2 things, see how they work it for 3 to 6 months, see what's going on and get some results, and then tweak from there. Because if you start throwing in, and you'll hear me repeat this all the time, if you throw in 5 different changes, which one are you going to know that's actually truly helping you? And which one can you kind of kick off to the side of the road because it doesn't matter whether you do it or not? So this is why. So my biggest change, 2 changes I have done, is I quit OMAD fasting, and I have focused on good valued protein, your very high dense nutrient protein, but being cognizant, because I'm not counting calories, being cognizant of where I'm getting that from. And at this time, I am not using creatine, I am not using protein powders, I am not using any supplements except for the magnesium by glycinate twice a day. I can't remember my milligrams. One of them is like 300 and the other one's 600, and I do it twice a day. So the ashwagandha, and if you go back to my previous videos, you'll see where I talk about those dosages and such. That was a recommendation from my nurse practitioner, and that has absolutely eliminated my brain fog at this time. It has given me my thought processes back. I don't feel like I have Alzheimer's or dementia. I can recall better. I'm still a little bit you can tell in my videos, I'm not quite as sharp, but I will get there. My recall and my words, because I like to use certain words to paint a picture, maybe don't come to me as quickly, but they are coming back. And because of that, I'm able to make videos for you, because this is a journey. This is the journey I'm in. And if you don't know, this journey for me started a year ago last month, when I got bit by a mystery insect. May or may not be related to my horrible, the next 3 months were absolutely awful. Couldn't get out of bed, made myself get out of bed, brain fog, started to get headaches, never a symptom I've never had, weight gain, felt like I could potentially have some serious condition that I'm just not aware of and going on in my body, had shoulder pain between the shoulder blades, and it all is coming back to perimenopause symptoms. So we are on this journey to figure it out. And when I finally could get the brain fog under control and I could get my energy back, I'm like, you know, this would be a great time to get on YouTube and document the journey, because it's a journey. There's going to be tweaks and things along the way. My goal is, once my body can self-regulate, and I don't know how long that's going to take, I want to be able to go back to OMAD fasting or some sort of fasting, even if it's falling into a 6 to 8 hour window of eating, maybe eating twice a day. I don't know. But these are just the things I'd like to get back to. But in the meantime, this is the process that I'm going to try. And my goal, I'm not saying that it's going to stay this way, but my goal is to use food as medicine the way God did it. And, you know, I thought about the other day, you know, what did Sarah in the Bible do? I mean, the woman got pregnant. Elizabeth got pregnant at like elder age, of what our elder age would be. All these women got pregnant. Now, I know God sent angels and he said they were going to get pregnant. But God also worked their bodies in a way where they could still ovulate at such an old age. What were they doing? There were not these techniques and things and resources 2,000 years ago to be able, you know, thousands of years ago to be able to do this. And our bodies have evolved to the environment that we are in, to a broken world that we live in. You know, that's through Adam and Eve, you know, the sin that's in here. And now we're trying to maneuver and fix things, and man's trying to manufacture all these things to fix our bodies. Well, with the evolution of crops, and we could get into a whole weed of things with our food. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to say, this is where I am in my journey. This is what I would prefer to do. I would prefer to look at my sardines and look at my foods that I don't normally eat, but I'm adapting to it. Some of it I'm adapting to, and some of it I really like it. As looking at those as my medicine. I'm looking at that as my medicine, and I'm tracking it all in my blood work. I'm tracking it all with data for my personal situation, and I'm going to make tweaks and adjustments as we go, and that's kind of where we're at. So at this point, I'm hitting about 80 to 100 grams of protein on average in a day. I'm seeing a threshold that is kind of holding and kind of giving me signs that it wants to go down, and I'm thinking about implementing more protein maybe starting next week to see what that would do, if maybe that's what my body needs. I'm trying to figure out, I'm letting my body kind of tell me what it needs. As far as my menstrual cycle is concerned, I was 6 days early last month, and I can't tell you how we're going to fall yet this month because we just started the month and we get to sit and wait. And I heard a funny term the other day on a podcast. It was hilarious. It was so right. But when you play period roulette because you don't know when it's gonna come, I'm like, that's exactly what it is. It's period roulette. So sorry, men, if you're listening to this video, you're inadvertently and passively on this journey with your woman, whether you like it or not. Some men want to get involved in this process, and they want to investigate, and they want to help their woman and get, you know, let's try this test, let's try this supplement. You know, they want to get involved. And then you have other men that are just like, oh, I'm just going to let you figure it out and take care of it. So that's where we're at. So that's the update. I hope you're doing well. If there is something working well for you, let me know in the comments. If you are struggling to figure out where to start on anything, you know, I'll try to help you. I'm just going off my experience. I do have a Bachelor of Science degree, not related to health. It's actually a degree in recreation and leisure studies, and did have a health component to it back in the day when I got my education. So I got a bullshit education, and then I backed it up with some more shit education, which my master's degree actually is in health promotion and wellness management, more of the prevention side of it, and I have used it, and that's where my interest has lied, and that's where it's always been with me. I try to be proactive in my health, always have been, and obviously it's living out in my lifestyle, and that's where I fall in this perimenopausal journey, and I thank you for coming along with it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to make these videos, and it's kind of fun to hear what you have to say. So until we do the next video, I hope this helps you. If it does, let me know. And if there's something you want me to talk about in my experience on something that maybe you're dealing with, hopefully you'll leave that in a comment and we can talk about it in a future video. All right, I'll see you guys later.